All right, I will call the city council meeting to order. It's 5:30 on Monday, June 19th. Roll call, please.
Slusher?
Yes.
Fetch?
Yeah.
Feltus?
Yep.
Mazak?
Yes.
Wojni?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
That's good timing.
Yeah, right.
We have a quorum. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Verification of postal.
The agenda was posted on the 16th by 9 a.m. at City Hall, State Bank of Arcadia, at KBTV and appliance on the city website.
We have a 13-item agenda. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
A comment here. If we could remove 8D off the agenda, I'd appreciate it.
8D? 8D.
D as in dog. We were waiting for a response from the DNR, and we haven't received that yet.
All right.
As amended then, so moved.
Motion by Fetch. Is there a second?
Second.
By Feltus. Any questions? Clerk will call the roll.
Olsted?
Yes.
Slusher?
Yes.
Fetch?
Yes.
Feltus?
Absolutely.
Mazak?
Yes.
Wojni?
Yes. Motion carries.
Unless it's on the agenda.
Public comment?
Races.
You want to give any comment?
I would love to, but I don't know if I'm first in line.
Is there any other public comment? Go ahead,
All right.
sir.
I don't typically stand here. State Representative Craig Krenczynski, live in Mondovi, and just newly elected last fall. I just want to stop in and say hello. I've been kind of making a tour through municipalities, townships, county buildings, as I have another one tonight. I got to be there around 7:10, but I just want to let everybody know I'm here to help and assist in any way when issues come up. A little tidbit about myself: I'm the mayor of the city of Mondovi, so this type of setting is pretty familiar to me, and appreciate what you do, because I wish everybody could sit in the chairs that you folks sit in to see how it really works. But other than that, I just wanted to say hello, and I was in town today, so I figured I'd stick around a little longer. So.
What are you doing on your spare time? It sounds like you're pretty busy.
I've given up sleep, but it's all right. No, I will just add that I do residential construction when I can, and I deeply miss it at days, but I only do it about 2 days a week, and just have a good mix right now.
You're in a good place.
I know, we were doing.
Feels good to be here.
That we get all the way around.
Oh, I think,
What I do?
you want to introduce yourself? He introduced.
Oh, Todd Fetch, former veterinarian. I don't know Krenczynski's, that's a bunch of Krenczynski's. But he used to do Paul, and I don't know if you're related to Paul.
That's where my dad was born, in that house.
Ah,
So,
okay.
so here's the deal. The biggest question in the campaign is, who's your dad?
Right.
Should have put that instead of elect me, because that would have answered a lot of questions. My dad's name is Eugene Jr.
Right.
So.
Long neck or short neck?
Yeah, and I've heard that one too. I don't know if I should take it as a compliment or a cut, but
I heard that years ago too.
I hear that all the time, so maybe I'm a hybrid in the middle. I don't know.
Kevin?
Kevin Mazak.
Bob Wojni.
Marlis Colstead.
Nice to meet you.
And everybody's been on the council for, Adam's probably our newest member. Kevin also as well. There are two newest members. Kevin served previously for a number of years. Doc and Marlis before that. And Bob and Joe have been, I guess, the longest tenured.
Forever, huh?
Barb. And Barb Tock, and she's a chairperson for the town of Arcadia. You know Trey. In our short time, Trey, we appreciate your openness and willingness to work with the city on any questions that we have and any projects that we've had going on. So we appreciate that.
Glad to hear all about it, and hopefully the next time I come, I can refer myself to a short or a long.
Do a little research. All right, thanks. Is there any other public comment? Public comment? Hearing none, we'll move on. We have a presentation here from Johnson Block. If you want to take the head of the table.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bill Moyleen. I'm from Johnson Block in the Viroqua office, and I'm a senior in the audit department there. And I've been coming to the city of Arcadia to do audit of financial statements for about 14 years. This was one of my first City of Arcadia is kind of near and dear to my heart. This was like the first place that I went on fieldwork when I was first out of college. So I'm here tonight to present the financial statements for December 31st, 2016. And previously, we submitted to the city a bound document. I don't know if some of you have it, but we're not going to thumb through it. These are the financial statements themselves as issued, and then the communication letter is designed specifically for council. It has some things in it that is directly from the auditor to council. It states if we had anything that we need to report, any significant findings or like problems with management, there were none. But things we find, recommendations we might have, the journal entries that we propose to management from fieldwork are listed at the end there. If you have questions on anything that's in there, you should just give Angela a call, and she'll get you in touch with me directly if you'd like. But I'd encourage you to thumb through this at the very least. It's got a lot of technical mumbo jumbo that you might not be interested in, but it kind of gives you an idea of what it is that we're actually here doing when we're all sitting here making a mess of the council chambers here. So I also brought, everybody should have a copy of the handouts. This is what we'll thumb through together. It's got some excerpts from the financial statements themselves, and then just some other financial highlights that we can touch on together. If you have questions as we go, I'll take them. Just don't feel like you don't need to interrupt or anything like that. So the content of the audit report, you can think of the audit report as having really 4 components. The first is the independent auditor's report. And it's the first few pages of the financial statements, and that's where our opinion is actually located. It's where we let readers of the financial statements know what the independent auditors think of the financial statements. And our opinion was an unmodified opinion. That's the desired opinion that states that we believe that the financial statements are free from any material errors or discrepancies. And we didn't need to modify our opinion for an estimate that we just couldn't tie down, or we disagree with management on some things, we passed on some stuff. We didn't need to do any of that, so it's an unmodified opinion. That's the best opinion we can have. The next area, there are fund financial statements. And these are the financial statements on the actual individual funds that Angela and Carla and Sally are working with day to day. That's your general fund, electric, water, sewer, TID 3, TID 4, and library funds. There are 2 types of funds within the fund financial statements: your governmental funds and your business type activities, business type funds. Business type funds are your electric, water, and wastewater funds. The government-wide financial statements are reported just a little bit differently than your fund statements are. They are reported on accrual basis, whereas the governmental fund types are reported on modified accrual. It's just it's accounting jargon for sometimes we report things differently than we do for other places. And there was the reason there's a difference, there's fund statements and government-wide, was readers such as bond underwriters or bond counsel, financial advisors, when they were reading city financial statements, they couldn't understand them because it's just a different type of reporting. So then they created this new rule that said, okay, let's have some government-wide financial statements so that the city's financial statements are read the same way as any other publicly traded company would be. So there are in the fund statements, you won't find stuff like long-term debt, for instance, at the city, on the city's financial statements. Well, obviously you guys know you have plenty of bonds outstanding. You also have plenty of capital assets. Well, those types of things aren't on the financial statements. So readers are confused. So when we're writing the financial statements for the city, we record some conversion entries, is what we call them, to create those on the financial statements so that they're read the same way. So anybody who understands accounting can pick up your financial statements and understand them. So that's the differences in accounting between the fund statements and the government-wide. And then the final portion, the fourth, is the notes to the financial statements. Those are where we're going to describe your significant accounting policies, any other type of things you have placed in order as council, and or all the disclosures related to the significant balances. Your long-term debts, your cash, your plant assets, those are all described in the notes. We also worked on other reports for the city. The electric and water utility have an annual report annually that's due with the Public Service Commission. That's a compilation report. It's got statistical and financial data that the DNR and Public Service Commission use to look over how the utilities are reporting the amount of water use, the amount of electric use. The water and electric rates, they're regulated by the Public Service Commission, so that's how they're using that report. Water's rate of return on rate base for 2016 was 5.6%, and electric's rate of return was almost 2.9%. Water's authorized rate of return was 4.75%, and the note there, right after year end, the water utility was involved, was working with PSC to increase water rates related to the projects that are going on in 2017 for a new well. And those were approved in April of 2017. Water's authorized rate of return on rate base was 5.3%, and those rates were authorized by PSC in 2014, December of 2014. Two other reports that we do for the city. We work on the municipal financial report and the TID PE 300 report. Those are both filed with the Department of Revenue. The municipal financial report is used by the Department of Revenue to calculate, it's used in the calculation for your shared taxes, which is your most significant intergovernmental revenue, and then also your transportation aids. The TID report that gets filed is part of a conversation related to a new law change. You're required to meet annually now with your joint review board to discuss the results from the TID. I think you guys have already had your meeting, right?
Last Wednesday we did.
So that's kind of a conversation piece, and that'll be an annual report that needs to be filed. There are three comments that we have in the financial statements. The first is related to segregation of duties. All the municipalities that I go audit have segregation of duties findings. There are very tightly worded requirements as far as what's necessary to properly segregate job responsibilities in the financial areas. And when you're a smaller municipality, you just don't have, it just doesn't make financial sense to hire enough people to lift that type of risk. The risk is when you don't have enough staff. We've got like a single person doing something. We've got multiple people at the city of Arcadia. The risk is that there are going to be errors that don't get discovered, or theft or abuses of city funds, and those are all related to segregation of duties type of risks. We don't have, it's not that serious at the city of Arcadia, we don't feel, because there are plenty of controls that have been implemented to help mitigate those types of risks. Those types of things are when you're at council meetings, you're reviewing a disbursement list. I see that in the minutes, pretty usual. That's really not just, I know it's just part of the meeting, but really that's something you should always consider when you're, that's why you're reviewing those, is you're actually doing, that's an internal control that you guys are providing for the city to make sure that things make sense. So there's lots of different types of things you guys have done with the way you share job responsibilities as well, to help mitigate those risks.
Question.
Go ahead.
So let's just say City Hall is supposed to send out money to a certain place or whatever, and it's not done. Do you catch that?
You mean?
It's happened
The
here
short
in the
answer,
past.
yeah, the short answer is, it depends. We are not hired to, I'll give you two examples. First example is one where you have some fraud. Let's say that a city clerk creates a fictitious vendor and puts together an invoice, and it's for $1,200, and you guys approve it, gets paid. Well, during our audit procedures, we're not actively looking to find fraud. In fact, the most frequent way fraud gets discovered is from a coworker reporting a suspicion. It's usually, 9 times out of 10, it's reported from internally. So when we're here looking at the financial statements, we're auditing expenditures that are in, you know, sometimes the tens of millions. We'll miss, we don't look at every invoice. Does that answer your question? So it is possible that there's an expenditure in the accounting that we don't audit.
Okay, I'll think of it. You didn't answer my question, but I'll come back.
Okay. The other comment on the financial statements is that we're required to report is the fact that we draft the financial statements. Because it's so technical, it makes financial sense to not hire, but just have your accountant assist with the preparation. So we draft financial statements from the trial balances that Angela provides, and then we give them to Angela to review, and then she approves them. And then the final one is uninsured deposits. We have a lot of deposits with local financial institutions that at times are over and above what our collateralization amounts are set up for. And the city's done a good job working with like Ellers, placing CDs in multiple locations to try to maximize your custodial credit risk, which is the risk that you have funds at the bank and the bank fails. Well, say goodbye to your funds that were at the bank. The risk is very low that happens, but it's still required disclosure that we have in the financial statements. And the reason it occurs right at year end is because of the way the tax bills go out in November or early December. Some people come in and pay them in December. So there's a heightened number of deposits right at year end. So that's what kind of bumps you up over those collateralization amounts. It's not a serious risk or anything like that. It's just something that you should pay attention to at year end. So makes us from the financial statements, page 4, the city reports 2 major funds, the general fund and the TIF districts. They're reported in aggregate. And there's one non-major fund, the library fund. During 2016, the city reported $6,439,000 of total assets, and last year we had $7,005,000. Total liabilities were $3,420,000, and in the prior year it was $3,730,000. Deferred inflows of resources was $2,012,000 in 2016. In 2015, it was $1,942,000. Total fund balance and/or deficit totaled $1,005,000 in 2016, and it was $1,331,000 for 2015. Would you like a copy, sir? Okay. On page 5. The statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balances for the governmental funds. Total revenues were $4,132,000 in 2016, and in the prior year they were $3,292,000. So that increase between 2015 and 2016 is primarily related to a grant that we had in the TID district related to the Myers Valley Creek relocation, and donations that we received from local businesses related to those same projects and or other projects in the general fund. Total expenditures were $5,071,000 in 2016, and in the prior year they were $4,788,000. Total other financing sources and uses were transfers between funds. In total were almost $600,000. And the last year we had some bond proceeds. So that was why last year was such like basically double. Fund balance to start the year was $1,348,000, and that decreased by $343,000 to $1,005,000. Page 6 is general fund budget to actual for 2016. We budgeted $2,174,000 in revenues, and we received $2,581,000. That's a favorable difference of $407,000. That's primarily related to special assessment revenue that we have with the school district, and that's will be budgeted that'll be a future capital projects expense. And miscellaneous income, those are donations from from local businesses of about 120,000. Interest on TID advances. The general fund has incurred expenses on behalf of the TIDs, and those are being reimbursed. In the meantime, we're billing the TID district's interest on those advances. So the 2016 interest revenue for that was 104,000. Then we have other interests and miscellaneous dividends that make up the rest of that balance. Total budgeted expenditures were $2,624,000. The actual were $2,404,000. So that's a favorable difference of $220,000. We budgeted $440,000 for transfers in and transfers out as a financial source, and we received $471,000. So we increased fund balance in general fund by $648,000 from 2.9 million to about 3.6 million. And then, along with the changes that they made with creating new financial statements for the city, there was another rule that got put into effect a couple of years back relating to the types of fund balance that you report. You used to just have assigned or undesignated and designated funds, and nobody understood what that means or what that meant. So they created a bunch of new categories that you're required to report them in. And there are actually 5 categories, and the city uses 4. They're restricted in order, in the highest on top and the lowest on the bottom. Total non-spendable fund balances were $2,097,000. And that's related primarily to advances that we have with other funds. And they're considered non-spendable because they're not expected to be converted into cash in a short time, so that we can't really spend them. They're non-spendable. We have restricted fund balances. Those are set aside by either outside sources or due to donor restrictions. So total restricted fund balances were $682,000, and in general fund they were for field house and park improvements. And in the TIF district, we have $125,000 of unspent cash, and for the library fund, that's for just future expenditures. Assigned fund balances are set aside. There is very low level of restriction with assigned fund balance. They're just set aside by city officials. And in general fund, we have set aside for just general government use, waste management, recreation projects, street improvements, and flood study work. Total assigned fund balance were $907,000. And then unassigned fund balance in general fund was $432,000, and unassigned fund balance was negative $3,114,000 for the 2 TID districts. And just a side note, the city has a minimum fund balance policy in place that unassigned fund balance, the minimum is 10% of your operating budget. And $432,000 was about 15% of your operating budget, so you got some space to work with your unassigned fund balance.
Question?
Go ahead.
On the Washington Court improvements there, I see there's no money left. Does that mean there's no money in that account anymore? We did have 73,000 or 70,000 in 2015, but we got we got the gazebo up, and then we put up the landscaping and all that sort of thing. So why isn't there any money left there, perhaps? I don't know.
Was it spent in full,
No,
Angela?
I didn't catch that when we went through this last week. There's about $49,000 left in the Washington Court Fund.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it got added. That park improvement seemed kind of high.
Maybe
so
it's
I
up
don't-
in park improvements?
I think it is because
Okay.
park improvements was about
Uh-huh.
30,
Okay,
so maybe those got netted together.
it's possible, okay.
So
It isn't zero in Washington.
Other questions?
No, I don't could be. You gotta watch that stuff.
Page 8 is just a visual representation of the total revenues in 2016. Intergovernmental revenues was 43% of our total income. at 1.7 million. That's a little more than usual. We had a large grant in the TIP district. The taxes and special assessments make it up 34%. Miscellaneous revenues is at 14% at 559,000. Public charges for services was at 7%. Licenses and permits, fines, forfeitures, and penalties rounded out the last 2%. There's some notes and comments on the cash flow for property taxes. They're settled in January and then again in August, so that's when you're receiving roughly that 34%. And then your most significant intergovernmental revenues, your grants, are related to your transportation aids at $355,000 for the city of Arcadia, and then the shared taxes, which is $700,000. And we received most of that shared taxes in like late November, early December.
That's for the school district, or is that shared tax?
It's shared between the county, the school district,
Yep.
Tech College.
All the, whole bunch.
Okay. That would be, but that's the city's portion of the shared taxes, yep. Yep.
We're just, we're kind of sitting here like Robert Peters. Do what we can.
Page 9 is the trend and equalized value of property at the city of Arcadia, which includes the TID areas. 2015's total values was 158 million. That increased to 180 million. A lot of that's related to local business expansion that we've been seeing. And hear from Angela that we're expecting some more in the coming years, so that'll be good for the city. Likewise, property taxes. When we're here doing fieldwork, we review the municipal levy limit worksheets to verify that they're within the guidelines for property levy limit increases. The levy limit that was received, the 2015 that's received in 16 was 698,000, and the levy that's being collected in 2017 was 754,000. And then for that levy, 37% of it goes to the school. The total levy for the school is 1,590,000. The county gets 20%. The state gets 1%. The city's 18% is 754,000. 5% goes to the vocational school, and the TIFs districts share 19%. A little more on the tax incremental financing districts. There are two that are open, TID 3 and TID 4. Both were open in 1994, and both have expenditure periods that have expired. So we're kind of in that phase right now where we're just revenue collecting until we can close them. To date, we have costs in TID 3 of $17,332,000. And TID number 4, to date costs are $8,500,000. Total cumulative revenues to pay off those expenditures. TID 3 has $16,357,000. So less revenues than expenditures. And TID 4, $6,487,000. There are some advances payable in the TIDs. The general fund has an advance receivable of $2 million from TIDs 3 and 4. The water and wastewater funds both have advances receivable as well. $101,000 from the water fund, and wastewater fund is owed $1,042,000. All those funds have payment schedules and are charging the TIDs interest on those advances. And then the results for the valuations in the TID districts show you the development. The base value in TID number 3 was $180,000. And the current value is $12,748,000. So we've generated an increment of $12,568,000. Same for TID number 4. The base value when it was created was $587,000, and the current value is $21,730,000. And as I said, the intent of the city is to recover the costs from the surplus TID funds, and looking at the statutory termination dates of 2031, it looks like the utilities and general fund are both going to be made whole, as well as the outstanding long-term debt. So. The governmental funds expenditures to make up of those balances. Capital outlay was significantly higher this year than it typically would be for the city of Arcadia maybe, related to the Myers Valley Creek relocation project in TID. 43% of our expenditures were capital outlay related. Debt service makes up 13%. 14% is public works related. Public safety was at 12% total. Culture and recreation makes up 10% of the total expenditures. General government is 8%, and then less than 1% is the TID administrative costs. For the utilities, on page 15, we had operating revenues for the electric, our three utilities, electric, water, and wastewater. Total operating revenues were $1,227,000 this year, and total operating revenues were $10,436,000. Total operating expenditures were $9,208,000. So we had operating income from our utilities of $1,228,000. Non-operating revenues and expenditures was interest related and debt related. So the net use was $312,000. We had some capital contributions during 2016 of $47,000. The electric utility received a transfer in from the TID districts for project costs of $245,000. And the transfers out are tax related, they were paid to general fund. Just kind of comment on that. The electric and water utilities combined make up your largest tax revenue customer for the city at $596,000. So the change in net position for the utilities in total, $29.2 million to start the year in net position. It increased $612,000 to $29.9 million. Long-term obligations at the city. At the top, we've got governmental activities. That would be your general fund and TID districts. And business type activities would be your electric, water, and wastewater funds. We started the year at about $7.5 million in outstanding long-term obligations. We made scheduled payments of around $380,000. So we had about $7.1 million outstanding at the end of the year. The business type activities, we had $10.3 million in long-term bonds outstanding. We had some new bonds. The electric utility did some refunding during 2016 to improve interest. That was a refunding, right, Angela?
It wasn't refunding.
Okay. To improve interest costs. So related to that payoff, we had $1.7 million in payments. So we had almost $9.8 million outstanding at the end of the year. The general obligation debt limit is a calculation. $9,402,000 is your total debt limit for the city. And the total debt that's subject to that limit is $5,525,000. So you've got 39% of your debt capacity remaining. So if there's an unforeseen project or you decide to finance something that you didn't originally intend to finance, you've got some room to do some borrowing. And to give you an idea, on prior year, the prior year debt limit was $7,941,000, and the GO debt was just the $5,830,000. So the debt capacity remaining at the end of 2015 was 26%. So we have a little bit more capacity, and that's because our values are increasing along with the improvements. And then the last, go ahead.
What would you consider a comfortable number to be at for a debt capacity?
I get that question a lot, and again, it kind of depends. If you have a really high debt capacity, it kind of means that you haven't had a lot of infrastructure improvements. You just haven't been borrowing. Maybe it's because you had somebody if you have a local organization that does all the infrastructure improvements on their own. But in the city of Arcadia's case, you've had a lot of TID, GO bonds. The city's got some portion in one of the GO bonds. I see it's always in a range. I see some in the 20 to 25%. You're at 40%. It's all just depending on what your valuations are doing. I'd say 40% is fine. You've got some room to borrow if you need to. Again, the TID's, really most of your long-term debt that's outstanding right now is TID related. About 80% of it is, if not more. So as those TID districts are paying those loans off, you know, the city's really got almost no long-term debt whatsoever right now. It's very, I think it's maybe 50% share of one of these debt issues is related to the general fund. Otherwise, it's all gonna be paid off by the TID increment. So you're in good shape, long-term debt related for the city. Some information on the types of bonds that are outstanding and the service requirements to maturity. The general governmental activities, there are 4 debt issues outstanding for the $7,047,000. And debt service payments go out to 2032. On the next page, the business type activities. There are 2 electric revenue bonds outstanding. There are 3 water revenue bonds outstanding, one of which general fund does share in. The $2.6 million water revenue bond, a large portion of that was general fund related, that there was an advance with the water utility on. And the wastewater has 1 bond outstanding. And those debt service requirements totaling $9.7 million and at 2033. Questions?
So we're doing all right, huh?
Yeah, as far as the long-term debt go, the city's done a good job working with their financial advisor to make sure that, you know, you've got a fair amount of long-term debt outstanding in the utilities and with the general fund and the governmental activities, but all the bonds are fairly new, so your interest rates right now are all very favorable. So I would say as far as that goes, you're sitting in good shape. You got plenty of cash. I think the cash was feeling tight a year or 2 ago, but that seems to have improved as, you know, projects are coming to an end with the TID districts, and we're looking at paying off long-term liabilities now in the TID districts. We did some work with the TID districts themselves, distressing them to give us more time to pay off those long-term obligations. So yeah, I think the city's in good shape. And so are the utilities. The utilities, if you look, sometimes the operating income statement can skew things, so you feel like one of the utilities is doing poorly or one of them is doing really well. We always look at the cash flow statement, and the cash flows from operations all provided cash inflow, not cash outflow. When we start seeing the inverse of that, that's when we start saying, you might need to take another look at your sewer rates, or your electric utility could use a bump in its user rates. But your rates are all fairly current in the electric and water utilities, and you pretty much look annually at wastewater to make sure that your rates are reasonable. So.
Thanks, Angela.
Yeah, and Angela and Carla and Sally, and all in the office, they do a great job, very easy to work with. I really enjoy working with Angela and the rest of the staff.
Is there any other questions? Bob,
Did you have a follow-up to?
I can't think of it.
If you let me or Angela know,
Okay.
we can send it out.
Okay. Thank you.
I'd be more than happy, or you can call me directly if you think of it. You can feel free to call the office.
Can I call you on a smartphone?
If you can text my number, you can.
Just
Yep.
Okay.
That's a what?
Smartphone.
I thought those were
When it rings, I answer it.
belongs in a museum, doesn't it?
Dinosaur section.
I had to go to one of these. I couldn't
Is there any other
remember.
questions for Bill? Thanks, Bill.
Okay.
Thank you, good
Thanks,
report.
everybody.
Thank you.
Move on to 4A, approval of meeting minutes from the June 5th, 2007.
Second.
Motion by Feltus, second by Slusher. Any questions? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Slusher?
Yes.
Fetch?
Yes.
Feltes?
Yeah.
Mezek?
Yes.
Wojni?
Yes.
Holstead?
Yes.
Motion carries. 4B, approval of laser fiche.
So moved.
Motion by Feltus, second by Fetch. Any discussion and or questions?
Did we talk about this the last time around, or?
Yeah, this is a budgeted item for this year. It was our long-term goal to switch to an electronic document management system, where we could possibly archive our documents. Now, currently, we have all paper documentation, so this will help us get organized. The plan is to start with the city hall here, and then see how it goes from there, and expand to the utilities in the next couple of years. So, the quote that we did receive from Cities Digital, the most recent quote is on par with what we budgeted for. As part of your package, you see that the total package there is $9,035.
Is there any other questions? Hearing none, clerk will call the roll.
Fetch.
Yes.
Feltus.
Yep.
Mazik.
Yes.
Wojni.
Yes.
Holsted.
Yes.
Slusher.
Yes.
Motion carries. Board and commission updates, we have none this evening. Department updates, none scheduled.
One thing I got.
Go ahead, Ron.
You wanted me to check on the walking track. I just got a rough estimate, $7,000.
That was to refinish?
Yeah,
Refinish
just
the
to
walking
seal the
track.
walking track.
What does the
Got the
resurface
crack
it?
filler too, or?
Some crack filling, but they'll just go through and do the worst ones, and then just seal up the rest, so. You want a number?
Has never been done as far as my knowledge.
Right, the school did their part, so if you wanna look at what the school did.
Do they grade it too then? I know there's some spots where water is held, so I know when we walk on there, you're tramping through water at times.
Well, we'd have to
They wouldn't
grade the
grade it.
dirt on the side so it runs off.
Yeah. That's just a thought, because there's times I know I gotta tramp through water, go around.
But I don't, we can't do it now, but
No.
you want a number, so.
Yeah, we can bring it back for our future agenda
Let
item.
me bring it back, yeah.
But that gives us something to work with.
Mayor, is he gonna talk later? Can we ask him about the hay? Should you get any,
Not a one.
okay. So
And
that's-
waiting, later part of next week, guy wants to take a look at it again.
Okay,
So
okay.
Just
As
keep
long
us-
as he
just
was
keep
on
us
his-
up to date.
Probably not, it ain't gonna make us any money, but at least we won't have to cut it.
No, but that's, as
Yeah.
long as you were on the,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Number 7, we have a public hearing liquor license, so I will open the public hearing at this point. Is there any public comment?
Do you guys know where, is it El Tepeca? They are located at 815 West Main Street, and they are,
Be the old Kubis building, I believe.
yes, and there's a
Oh.
restaurant there, and they are,
body shop.
Yep.
they are applying for a Class B beer license.
They do have good food.
What's open then?
Yeah, it's really good.
It is open.
You have a grocery store in the front and then a little restaurant in the back.
Ah.
New building.
I stopped there once and then they weren't open for they were open for groceries, but not for.
They were when I was there, probably a month or 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yep.
And the background check was done on the applicants, and that came back fine.
And we're current on taxes and everything, bills.
Well, I will double check that before we issue it.
It's good for one, good for all.
No, right,
Isn't that
I will do that.
Is there any other public comment?
not saying,
Hearing none, we'll close the public comment, and I would entertain a motion to approve pending check on utilities and taxes. By Fetch and Slusher. Any other questions? Clerk will call the roll.
Feltus.
Yep.
Mazik.
Yes.
Wojni.
Yes.
Holsted. Yes. Slusher.
Yes.
Fetch.
Yeah.
Item 8A, discussion and possible bid award of the 2017 seal coating projects.
Want to take this one, or you want me to?
You do a good job, Bill.
So we we sent for, the requested proposal for, seal coat bids, for the following streets, Blasco Avenue, Nelson Road, Wannick Avenue, Jefferson Street, Commercial Street, Cleveland Street from, St. Joseph to County Road J, and then Cleveland Street from County Road J to Commercial Street, Owen Street, and Oak Street. We received 3 bids, one from Scott Construction for a total of $27,844. Trumbull County, $30,950. And Ferner Asphalt for $36,083.62.
Who was that first one from?
Scott Construction.
Scott Construction.
They've been in business for years.
Oh, good enough, thank you.
And in review of the bids, we did reserve the right to reject any of the bids, and portions thereof. Considering, the current construction project now in the season, we did decide to only move forward on Blasco Avenue, Jefferson Street, Commercial Street, Cleveland Street, between St. Joseph and County Road J, and Cleveland Street between County Road J to Commercial Street. And we did not move forward on Nelson Road, Wannick Avenue, Owen Street. And so the winning bid was Scott Construction for those listed streets, including Oak Street, for a total recommended award of $22,102.
So moved.
Second by Feltus and Mezak. Questions? Is there a reason that we backed out of the other ones, just to keep it lower and those weren't as high a priority, or due to the other
We did
work?
$8,000 worth of crack filling, and we
Okay.
got $30,000 total to spend
Sure.
on those 2 items, so that's the way we've been doing it the last 3-4 years, is I just put a list of them out there, and then we just pick and choose which ones we want to make our 30,000.
Any other questions? Hearing none, clerk will call the roll.
Mezek?
Yes.
Wojni?
Yes.
Holsted?
Yes.
Slusher?
Yes.
Fetch?
Yes.
Feltes?
Yep.
Motion carries. Item 8B, Resolution 2017-10, providing for the publication, filing, inspection, and adoption of the Code of General Ordinances.
So moved.
Motion by Feltus, second by Fetch. Bill, do you want to give a brief update? This is something that's
So as you know,
started a number of years ago, I believe.
yeah, I think we've been working on this since I've been hired. So it's been a while, and we're getting to the tail end here. This is the resolution that kicks off the process to adopting the new general code. So what this resolution does is allow us to publicate the filing, provide inspection or open it for viewing, and then eventually at our July 19th meeting, we would adopt the ordinance adopting the code. Let's see here. So if you see in your packet the resolution itself, designating the procedure. The public viewing would be open then 2 weeks prior to the date that we adopt the code. Also, a part of your packet is the ordinance itself. And then Schedule A, which shows the portions of the old ordinances that were changed. We do have, if you are interested in reading the whole code, we will have that again open for publication, open for viewing, 2 weeks before July 19th. So that is the resolution portion, and then I'll talk more about the reference to the plan commission.
Any other questions?
I see, this comment.
Sure.
Repealing of a bicycle ordinance, repealing of dance hall.
so,
Those are all kind of antiquated type of things, or what?
yeah, so what we did in the codification process was, what it does is it takes all of our code, which is, the way that our current ordinances are set up, it's random. You know,
To
to
say the least.
to the history of the city, once an issue's come up, we've adopted a code or adopted an ordinance, and we assign it a number, the next number, so it's not in any particular order. What the codification does is it puts it into a specific order, and then assigns new numbering to each of the specific ordinances, which are now chapters. And so it makes it easier for people, residents, other people who are viewing all of our ordinance to get through it. You can look it up alphabetically, you can reference it by specific, topic. And so what we did was during this process, it provided a great opportunity to make changes. There were some in there that referenced, particular statute or organizations or positions or other items that are now obsolete, and so we took the opportunity to update that. Along with that, we did take the opportunity to update ordinances. So some of the ordinances themselves were totally obsolete, so that we removed them, repealed them, and then we recreated them. So that, you know, there's a list in here that shows which ordinances are repealed and recreated. Also, there is also a list that shows new ordinances that were added. And then, yeah, the list goes on and on. The idea is that once now that it's organized, when we do, add an ordinance or add a specific section, we can then interchange it from the code, and add the chapter, so that it continues as one document.
That answer your question, Mark?
Yeah, right, I guess it's basically to make things easier to access and find them and to deal with, period.
Correct.
Organization.
Yeah, communication. But, so when we get the new system in place, then we'll be able to look at it again and.
Yep, as far as process, so if and when this resolution is adopted, again, there will be we'll notice the public that we are going through this process. We will, provide an opportunity for public viewing of the whole code. And then at the July 19th meeting, there will be an opportunity to discuss it at that point also. Then after that, we'll post a notice saying that we've adopted the new code. There are specific ordinances, and this is going into the next item now, in regards to zoning, and in regards to subdivision, that have to go to the plan commission for review as per state statute 62.23. We have to notice it, we have to do, public hearings for, those specific ordinances. Same thing with floodplain ordinance, same thing with shoreland and wetland ordinances that we have. So we wanna make sure that we're on the correct path here. Angela and I have also been in contact or in discussion of the new ordinances with the PD. We need to coordinate with them. Once the code is adopted, they will be switching over to the new numbering system also. So it's been a process, and it was, I think, something that we didn't envision taking this long when we first started.
But you can see the light.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
a couple sentences ago, you said at the July 19th meeting,
Correct.
and here it says July 17th meeting.
Whichever day is Monday, I might have it wrong.
Well, I don't know, but it's just that,
Oh, July 17th.
July 17th, today's.
okay, okay,
That was my fault.
okay.
Is this something that we go to a public hearing, you could go on and on and on, because there's so many different,
Well, only
Sections.
the zoning ordinances will go to the public hearing. The rest of the ordinance, the code itself goes to our regular ordinance adoption process, which if it doesn't require a public hearing, we historically didn't bring it to a public hearing.
To us.
Right, it just comes to
Yeah.
us.
Cause I know I looked at some of this stuff and I go,
I mean, really, for the most part, it's removing the old stuff and rearranging the stuff to make more sense and make it easier for staff and or the citizens
public.
to read.
The public,
all of us. Huh?
and those that know how to get there.
Yeah.
If there's no other questions.
Well, I do invite all of you to read the code.
Yeah.
I've been
I
reading
have.
and I go, whoa.
I scanned it if that counts.
Yeah. It's almost like reading this audit report.
The clerk will call the roll.
Wojni,
Yes.
Olsted,
Yes.
Slusher,
Yes.
Fetch,
Yes.
Feltes,
Yes.
Mezek.
Yes.
Motion carries. 8C, refer ordinance 223, adoption of a code of general ordinance sections regarding floodplain zoning, shoreline, wetland zoning, subdivision of land, wellhead protection and zoning to the plan commission for public hearing and consideration.
I so moved.
Motion by Fetch. Is there a second?
Second.
By Feltus. You guys are in a hurry tonight.
To discuss it, right?
Bill, do you wanna give a brief, or this kind of explains it, you basically are referring this to the planning commission?
Yeah,
to
so
hold
this
the
is,
property.
this is the same ordinance that you guys have previously initiated the process for. In the ordinance itself, it references the red, where the ordinance is in dealing with, floodplain zoning, which is the zoning ordinance, shoreline and wetland, this is a zoning ordinance. A subdivision of land, which is not a zoning ordinance, the wellhead protection, which is a zoning ordinance, and the general zoning ordinance. So all of those by requirement of section 62.23 requires a class 2 publication, public hearing, and then all of these listed ordinances require a consideration by the plan commission. Then you'll come back, as part of that July 17th meeting, for the city council's consideration and final adoption.
Questions?
Just a question, I don't know if it's related to this part here or not, but, on the ordinance related to, firecrackers and all that sort of thing, was that on the previous one, or what?
Fireworks.
On the previous one, on fireworks.
Okay.
We currently have a fireworks ordinance.
Yeah, I know we, approved 2 licenses, right? I see Chuck Gomez is selling fireworks up there. Did he come to us?
He did not, he would be, depending on what type of fireworks he's selling, depends.
Who
where he's at.
monitors that anyways?
You mean Chuck Thomas or Kylan at
Kylan.
Auto Pro?
Yeah, it's the guy, it's just Chuck's, his old,
At the Edge Graphics?
True Value.
No.
I don't know.
Auto Pro.
Oh,
Auto Pro, yeah. That's just a thought, I just threw that in
Who
there.
monitors that?
Yeah. Who
You're my eyes and ears.
Yeah, I guess we're all the eyes and ears of what goes on.
It goes up in the air, you're not, it's not
Well,
supposed to go up in the
We'll
air.
make sure that we contact them next year.
Well, Express Mart had them the next day after we approved theirs. So I'm assuming they had them before that.
Anyway,
Yeah,
any
yeah.
questions on the motion in
No.
front of us? About referring this to the planning commission? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Yes, oh,
Olsted,
Yes.
Slusher,
Yes.
Fetch,
yes.
Feltes,
Yes.
Mezek.
Yes.
Wojni.
yes.
Motion carries. Item 8D, we removed item 8E, refer ordinance 138B, amending ordinance 138.9.22 to add solar farms as a conditional use in the commercial district to the plan commission for public hearing and consideration.
So moved.
Motion by Feltes, second by Slusher. Doc, you're a little slow.
I was looking for other people to,
Partake in the meeting?
Yeah, you explain each of
Sure,
this one?
yeah.
So as you know, solar energy systems are becoming, more affordable. There's, been recent activity in a particular area, particularly, Riverland Energy, with their solar project. So we currently do not allow, or do not have listed, solar farms or solar energy, production units as a use at all in any of our districts. This here allows for that to be permitted, as a conditional use permit in the commercial district. So adding that on, that requirement then has it going to the plan commission for a public hearing, and the proper public notices, before it eventually comes back for adoption here to the council.
Any questions?
Question, how many people come to those hearings for the public, the planning commission?
Very few.
Very few.
Right.
Whoever's interested.
That's my point, I mean, do
It's
they
not,
actually,
it's not really a choice that we can have or not have, it has to be.
you gotta do it.
So by state
But you
statute.
the council can hold the public hearings too, so.
The thing is how many of the public or the planning commission people actually get the time to, or take the time to actually look at all of this stuff too, so. I mean, we do it because we're supposed to do it, and hopefully the people who are on there do the job, but. So when they come back and recommend to us, yes or no, or all this, I think we have something to go on, but that's my comment.
Anything else? Clerk will call the roll.
Slusher?
Yes.
Fetch?
Yes,
Feltes?
absolutely.
Mezek?
Yes.
Wojni?
Yes.
Holstead?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 8F, approved pay request for Sam's Well Drilling in the amount of $108,073.90.
So moved.
Feltes, second by Mezek. Questions?
This is on above 7, right?
Well,
Okay.
7, which is my shot.
Right.
And you probably noticed this is pay request 1, and last meeting you approved pay request 2.
2.
There was a little bit of a time gap when they gave us the pay request, and then we got the next pay request that this missed the agenda inadvertently, so, we're just making sure that they get paid.
So the total amount is 153?
No, it's 108.
108.
You guys already approved
We already approved the
the
first
next one,
portion.
or the pay request.
108,073.90.
Yep,
Right.
the amount is right, that's on
But it says contract amount 153.
the, right, we already paid the other
The
portion,
other portion of the 100 and, okay,
40-some thousand.
so it's not 261
No.
or 71, okay.
Clerk will call the roll.
Fetch?
Yes.
Feltes?
Yep.
Mezek?
Yes.
Wojni?
Yes.
Holstead?
Yes.
Slusher?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 8G, approved pay request number 8, the amount of $20,452.31 to Haas and Sons for Myers Valley Creek
Is
project.
that the final payment?
This is not the final.
This is not the final.
What is this? Is this the kind of the spring tune-up?
Yeah, this is, I don't know what specific dates they are for, but yeah, it would include some of the spring cleanup. I believe there's some of the erosion fixes that was a part of that. I'm not sure of it in front of me, but, I believe there is one more final one, that will be coming due.
We have money for this, right?
So, yes.
Yeah.
It'd be nice when we don't have a Myers Valley Creek one, I agree 100% with you, Joe.
Maybe something else.
Wait,
Then we'll have another
I
project.
believe, yeah, we're close to that.
Yeah, we're working on
Then it'll just be a different name. Yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
Clerk will call the roll.
Yeah, just quickly here,
Oh.
so this will, with the changes and the original contract price, we allowed up to, $897,882. This payment here will bring us up to $848,639.
Close,
So, yeah, it's close, and depending, so,
49,000.
That include all the engineering fees?
this is just the.
This is just the construction.
Davy?
Yeah, it looks like a lot of this work was done, for the erosion fix.
Oh, that, over the spring and all this, I think.
I can double check how much is left out there. There shouldn't be much left if they, are working on the erosion control. I mean, that's pretty much what's left on the contract itself.
I got a call from Davey to go and do a final inspection,
Okay.
so they're close.
So if they've already billed for the erosion control, fingers crossed that even, last payment will bring us in under that $897,000. But we'll monitor and move on from there. I don't expect, any more engineering fees from them. They didn't really do any engineering this spring. I know that there was some for erosion issues, administrative work, but, I'll double check on engineering fees also.
Well, we got $15,513.93 from our Valley project, and then we got another $551.73 in this week's bills from Myers Valley.
And I believe reading through those invoices, those had to do with, all the restoration work this past winter.
So that's,
I know that we have DNR coming out here for, a final walkthrough on the 28th also, so that's coming up. That project should be closing up pretty soon here.
but he just read off amounts there that we're paying this month, huh? That's for
A
Davey
little
and,
over 20,000.
no, on here it's more than that, it was.
Excuse me, a little over
No, it's
16,000.
A little over 16,000.
Oh, a little over 60,000, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good, get her done.
Did we have a motion and a second on that?
We did.
I don't think we
Are you
did.
sure?
I don't think we did, I'll move.
I'll second.
Motion by Joe, second by Mazak. I thought that's what it was initially. Clerk will call the roll.
Feltes,
Yeah.
Mazak,
Yes.
Wojni,
Yes.
Holsted.
Yes.
Flusher,
Yep.
Bench.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 8H, discussion on policy for city council special meeting pay. It's up for discussion, we don't need
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
Do the people that attend the economic meeting, development meeting, do they get paid? Do the
Yes,
people
they-
going to the planning commission get paid?
Yes,
Fire board, I've been
Yes.
turning in a thing, do I get paid?
you should be.
Okay, and then the park rec was a new thing you brought up, Kevin and I are on that now with Eva. If we show just cause why we're having the meeting, can that be included in that also?
That's what's up for discussion. I don't see a problem with it.
Okay.
But I wanted everybody as a discussion of, well, what constitutes a
'Cause
meeting? If somebody stops you on the street to talk about park and rec,
But
is that
if,
but if you have Kevin get together, discuss some issues, what you have, that's the discussion point, you know, where,
if we have a problem up there and the three of us are at a meeting and it's legit, then I think we should be paid too for our time traveling up there, discussing it and presenting it to the council. That's my,
This Jan Dorship with this recycling thing, and she called meetings with me and I had to leave work. Because she can only do it at a certain time, I mean.
well, and that's really the discussion. I don't have a feeling one way or the other. I want everybody to be utilized as such, but, you know, at what point and how do we justify it if it's a meeting, if somebody calls you, if Jan calls you, is that really a meeting? I get what you're saying,
Yeah, I had to
Kevin.
go up to, punch out at work and go up to the park for what was it, hour and a half with her?
Walk around all the parks.
And, you know, I mean,
Do you have to set it up through the city? To
should
get
we,
paid-
should
to
we
get
approve
paid?
these at our council meetings? If somebody has one, that'd be a way to do it?
Go ahead, Mark.
I was just gonna say, I'm on the recycling committee, but she contacted me directly, not through the city. I mean, she wanted someone from the city council on there. And I mean, I've been to at least 5 meetings, so, and I haven't put anything in for that. What, no, Adam,
I'm on the compost, I haven't made a meeting yet, just
Okay.
with conflicts.
so, I mean, what is your feeling if you go to those meetings, do you feel you should be paid?
I know, because I agreed with her on my own terms, so I personally, I don't think I should be reimbursed there,
Yeah, see, I
or
guess that's,
something like that.
if you had said, we need a representative from the
City.
city council to be on that committee, then I guess I would feel that, you know, I mean, I'm not officially representing the city, she kinda wants me as a liaison between her committee and the city.
That you're kind of there on your own accord.
Exactly, I
And
mean,
whatever-
that's how I.
Whichever committees that you do serve on, you should be appointed during the reorganization.
So that's fine, yeah. So the city knows, so that they know who's gonna be
And
the.
like our committee, we're only there like 4 months or 5 months, right?
Right.
So if there's an issue, we're gonna act on it,
Yeah.
and then we'll turn it in.
I mean, I don't have a feeling one way or the other.
Yeah.
I want, but I don't want us to also be paying out because somebody comes to the park and talks to you about the swimming pool.
No,
That's-
no.
You know what I mean?
No,
That-
this would be a
That's
vested.
more of a
we were-
customer or a citizen complaint. You know, we all feel plenty of those.
And Kevin and I were appointed by you, so we feel that if Eva calls, it's something serious, so we're going to act on it, and we will bring it here.
Yeah, I think it's
Right.
That's-
yeah.
And, well, then I have a question, I mean, we're not officially city reps on there, but she
Right.
wanted someone, is the city okay with that we just are on that committee, or do you feel that?
I think that's fine, I mean, if you're representing, I mean, if you're volunteering for a committee on your own time and behalf, you should. However, if it is a city organized event, not an ad hoc committee, we should be appointing, compensating, and posting those agendas, because they are public.
And we kinda had that same feeling, Bob, to answer your question about the economic development. You know, a whole lot of those are business people and they said, we'll just do it.
Gratis.
Yeah. But when you start to dig into it a little more, you pay all the other committees. How do you know,
Pick and
does
choose.
it make the other committee look bad because one committee says, we're not getting paid? You know, we're just doing it for free? Does it make the other ones that says, you know, we're gonna claim every one, so we decided to pay all those members as well, even though they stated we'll do it for nothing.
I was on this composting thing too once upon a time with Paul Detloff and Bob Schmidick and Jan and all this sort of thing, but she asked me to come, cause I had some composting ideas, cause I do it, inside pictures and whatnot, but that was a volunteer type thing. Do we have to worry then about quorum thingies, you know, if we get,
Well, you do anytime there's 3 of you, 3 or
Even though
4
it's-
together.
Four, especially,
I mean,
4,
that-
3 can be okay. Just don't hang.
this kind of.
Well, when you show up, when there's 3 people, if you guys are all to show up at a compost committee, I mean, it's not a quorum, but
If
it
you're
doesn't look
worried,
good.
if you're worried about possible quorum, just let us know and we'll just post in case. And that doesn't take much for us to do.
Like they did for the Ashley thing today. Ashley, or
Oh.
they posted, there may be a quorum, so everybody knows.
No
that if
action will
there's-
be taken.
No.
Oh, I see.
So the feeling I get is if it's a city-appointed committee and it meets, it should be paid.
I agree.
Is that what I hear? And we can work and go through that, and, you know, if somebody needs to be appointed to make it official, we'll do that next meeting.
Do you need a motion, sir?
No, Angela and I talked about this, and I just wanted to bring it up to discussion to make sure we're all on the same page.
Do you want us to come up with some, like a written policy going forward just to have, so that
I
if-
think it would be great.
We can put it in that.
Just look at your appointments, and take it right off of there.
When's our recycling contract up?
That's the end of this year.
Yeah.
December.
We'll be looking at that.
I think it's like the 13th or something like that.
But if we push them to get the cart,
get more
Same
recycling.
thing, just as long as we solve the
I
problem.
believe that.
I think so.
All right, well, we'll work on
We got the-
item 8H and bring it back for later approval. Item 9A, approved bills in the general account in the amount of $193,549.
Giving us guide.
Oh, I don't have it on here.
Yeah.
Did, oh, they got posted correctly.
Here.
Discussion of vandalism at Vilas Hanson Park.
What's going on?
You know, I thought I read it one time, but
One day wreck.
Oh my gosh, you
What's
guys.
going on?
Right here.
Oh, no.
It's ridiculous.
She can give you the.
who wants to take the
Where do
lead?
we start?
Yeah, you wanna slide up here?
Where do we start? Okay. We got this beautiful park, Violet Hanson Park.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm just gonna backtrack a little bit. I get these nifty little sheets from the city. Was this weekend, 8 of them, okay? One rented at each park. So I start at Schultz Park on Saturday morning, talk to the people, you know, everything is clean for them to go in, clean up when you're done, be out of here. You gotta be out of here at the 10 o'clock, I always tell them, because there's another party the next day, so on. Go over to Deer Park, check it out. If no one's there, I'll come back. Then I go up to Pavilion 2, open the bathrooms, check that, change garbage. And now I gotta go way to Violet Hanson Park. Well, the first time it was rented was last weekend, and before that I went to get, you know, plunger and got toilet paper dispensers and soap and garbage cans, got everything all set up, got it cleaned up, looked really nice. The first time we're gonna rent it, last Friday, go up there and holy mokers, they broke into the bathroom somehow. They had twine wrapped around the, I don't know how they did this, you guys. I have no idea, because I checked it about on Tuesday, and everything looked good there. Twine wrapped around the hinge on both the bathroom doors, beer cans in there, dirt, mess. Okay, so take my blower, blow it all, clean up the bathrooms. I think I called you that, oh yeah, then I tried to get into there's this little bitty kitchen, tried to get in there and they had plugged that up with something. Second time they plugged up because they did the boys' bathroom about 3 weeks ago and I couldn't get in there. I don't know what they do, but they put something to plug it in there.
In the
So-
lock.
In the lock. And this is Friday night, about 6:30. I have to call Raleigh. I couldn't get in, I couldn't do any more, I did what I
Yeah, I
could.
seen you that night.
Yeah, so I did what I could. Raleigh did get it open. I called the people. There was a lady from Independence, pregnant lady. She was very nice. I said, this is the situation. I said, I can't get in to clean it. I had somewhere to go. 6:30 at night, I said, we're just not gonna charge you for this, but it's not gonna be real clean when you come. I did the bathrooms best I could. Raleigh did get the lock undone. I called, and I had a tournament the next day, so I really couldn't go up there. So we did get it all done. Called her the next morning, you know, told her everything. And then she forgot her keys and she needed me, and anyway, turned out good. She cleaned it up really nice. We get a call from the cop on Thursday night. I was at the pool cleaning the ice cream machine, and he goes, are you the one I called for Violet Hanson Park? They'd broken the door, actually kicked it in. They broke the window.
This is the bathroom or?
This is, there's no windows in the bathroom. It's kind of in, you have to go out there and see it. It's just a real small eating area, and they broke the window. And call Raleigh, or cop did, and Raleigh already cleaned up the glass. Halverson came up there and did his thing with it. So then we got that taken care of. I called the people. Well, this is the person I was supposed to have it on. This is all pretty much the people that live up on Saddle Drive. Called them to tell them what had happened, that the window broken, and I cleaned up the glass. Raleigh cleaned up the glass. Number doesn't work. Okay, so I'm like, oh my gosh, now what do I do? So I found 1747 Saddle Drive, apartment 28. Walk upstairs, knock on the door. This is Saturday morning. I told them, you know, there was some vandalism there, so on and so forth. Parents aren't home. There's about a 14-year-old boy there. I tell them, okay, it's clean for you. When you get done, you have to clean it up. Can you tell your parents that? Yep, yep. And I always say, is this you? Because I don't speak any Spanish. They, yep, yep, that's us, so on and so forth. Okay, Sunday morning comes, I have to go check if it's clean. Not clean at all. Just awful, awful. The bathrooms, the kitchen, everything's awful. So, go up the 1747 Saddle Drive again, walk upstairs, knock on the door. No one answers for a while. Then finally a dad comes out, doesn't speak English. I go with the boy again. I said, now, remember, this was your party. And the dad's going wild. No, no, no. Apparently he said that wasn't our party. I'm like, what do you mean that wasn't your party? It was so-and-so's party. I said, wait, no, didn't you tell me that was you? Yeah. This is your address? Yeah. Well, you're responsible for it. Okay. The dad says for the boy to take me five doors down. So I'm walking through Modelo cans, broken glass, go to another apartment to tell them they have to clean up. In the meantime, I called the people that were supposed to be using it, and they wanted to decorate, and anyway, you guys, it's just, it's a tough situation up there.
What does the city charge?
$50.
Well, number one, I think we need to,
They need what I think, yeah, today I went and I sprayed out the bathrooms, cleaned everything, scrubbed it down again, and I can guarantee you tomorrow I'll go up there, they just don't know where the garbage cans are, they can't find the garbage cans. And there's, you know,
You gotta,
it's bad, it's ridiculous,
something
guys.
like this should be taken up to about $500 with a bank check, you know,
Or cash.
or well, no, you want a check because you want a name on there.
Oh,
You want to
that's
know
true.
who it is.
Yeah, so,
If it's clean,
yeah,
here's your money back minus the $50.
yes, yes, yes.
This is
It's
unacceptable.
I
Unacceptable.
should have told you too, when I drove up there on Sunday morning, there's glass on the road. The garbage dumpster is just coming over, which your guys had to pick up today. The guys on Sunday didn't even have a place to put their garbage. It's bad. And I'm just making a long story short, and then how do you patrol that? How do you know they're not gonna break in again?
anybody that's rented it so
What do you
far
do?
has been a resident of that area.
Yeah, except the Independence lady, the very first one.
I mean, as a start, I agree with Adam completely, but also should we let the people, the property owners know?
Oh,
Not just the renters.
not the renters, but the
I
property.
mean, this is paid for
Yeah.
by their tax
Yeah.
dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is paid for by TIF
Yeah.
money. To
I
say,
don't know.
you know, for them to reach out to their tenants that this is happening.
Yeah.
They may not know it's happening.
Do
I think that-
motion camera up there?
And, you know, we talked about that. They'll probably ruin it. I mean, they'll probably steal it and take it and, I mean,
Well,
you
just put it
know,
high
I hate to
enough.
say it.
You put it high enough.
I don't know where you're
Planted
gonna put it.
38 trees last year,
Yeah,
and they got all the lower branches
Mhm.
busted off those.
yep,
They ain't gonna make it.
no, and they're gonna break in again.
30
and again.
arborvitaes might, but the 8 that we planted, you might as well go up there and jerk them out of the ground, it'd be a lot.
Well, they tried planting grass seed too, that's all just trash, and trash, I mean, everywhere up there, by the basketball court, it's just,
Well, I think we
There's-
gotta let the owners know.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe we need to
just close it down for a bit. So I was gonna say,
but how do you do that, and then
let's shut
they'll-
the thing down.
you know, the cops can't patrol it, I can't be up there all the time, Raleigh, they'll come in at 8:30, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and they'll just
Just
break it
because
in
you
again.
close it don't mean they ain't gonna go in there.
That's right, yeah, what are you gonna do? How are we gonna close it?
Take it down. Go in there with a backhoe.
Yeah, I would say just, this is what I would say, just a little pavilion and a couple picnic tables, forget that other nice part,
You
because
betcha.
it is just, they're gonna keep doing it and doing it and doing it.
Put a
Leanne
hand-
cleans up there and she says they don't know what a garbage can is.
Yeah, no, it's sad, it's such a beautiful park and beautiful playground, and it just,
They're just
Is there
trash
any
it.
way to plywood off the doors and?
The door frame we're not fixing. I went to Dwayne Harold, got a piece of metal,
Yep.
welded the hinge plate, not the hinge plate, but where the lock goes in, screwed that right into the studs, and that's the way that's staying. And a piece of sheet metal's on order, I'm putting that on hinges. When they rent it, it'll be able to swing open, they can use the window, and then it's gotta be shut when they're done.
and the door opens, it's kinda hard to shut, now I have to really work at it to pull it, to make it lock, you know, it locks, but you have to really pull hard, but,
Give
but
her
you
a
guys, it's
picture.
gonna be over and over and over and over and
And
over.
we've got a lot of summer and fall left.
We have a lot, it's rented next week again, I'm like, you guys, it's a lot on my plate too. I mean, I pretty much put my 40 hours in usually by Wednesday or Thursday, so pretty much after that, it's all gratitude.
Do you ask for ID or anything?
Oh,
with
the
any of
city
that?
takes these,
Okay.
yeah, so wrong
Well,
numbers.
you know,
What good is it?
What do you do?
We have it on rentals, required photo
That's the
ID,
person.
picture of a photo ID, maybe we should. It's, over the years, it's been more hassle than not to collect a security deposit. I think we might need to go back to that.
I think so. I think the $50 plus $100 or $200.
More.
Yeah.
More
This is the
I-
problem.
Cause that'll get them to clean it.
To
if
clean it
it's-
up, and they don't get their money back until, and give me till Tuesday morning to get all the parks plus all the
Right.
other things on Monday,
You know, the other
That
thing
gets verified.
too,
and it has to be clean.
in, if I may speak.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I do know that, other places, even the pavilion, you know, they used to rent Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They've upped their price and they've rented it for the weekend. That's an awful lot to put on Eva's plate to have her checking, you know, 3 days, you know, if it's rented Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to check all 3 days, you know, do we want to do a weekend rental or, you know, and then if we do collect a security deposit, what amount would it be, and if you go up there and it's not clean, they lose, you know, if it's $100 security deposit and you go up there and it's not clean, it's $50, if they, you know, and if they want the rest of their security deposit, they will get back and clean it up. I don't know. We
Raleigh.
don't have unlimited staff to keep you
Well,
cleaning up.
approximately, what was the cost of the damages and and include the labor in
Right,
this,
yeah.
obviously?
With the window and the door and the labor, I figure they cost $600 to $700.
You gotta go $500 or better, in my
But
opinion.
here's the problem. The person it was rented to the next day didn't bust the window and knock the door in the night before. Right?
Right, that,
No.
yeah, you're saying, yeah, so
You know,
she should
That was
be okay.
Friday, no, Thursday night.
Thursday night, so the Saturday morning on
So
that lady for
how do you
Independence.
control that?
Yeah, and another thing, I go up there Friday, for example, I go up, you know, I have a life too, kind of. I go up there Friday and you clean it.
If it's clean
You clean
Saturday
it.
morning, Eva cleans it, Kevin rents it, and Kevin trashes the place, then you've got a leg to stand on because
Right.
you know who had it.
Yeah.
But in the situation where the door was kicked in and the window was
Yeah.
broke, that happened on a Thursday night.
We had
So
another-
this is happening in the wee morning hours and, well, okay,
Right,
I
yeah,
gotcha.
but my point is, I go up, say, I have a tournament on Friday, or I have somewhere I have to go on Friday, so I go, or Saturday, I go up there Friday, you know, maybe 2, 3 o'clock, I clean it all up, get it nice. They come Saturday morning, they're like, what the heck happened here, you know, somebody else comes and trashes it. And it could happen, I mean, the cops can't, you know what I mean? I could have it clean, by the time they get there Saturday morning, it could be a mess again.
We have to
And-
put bars on the
I
windows and
know,
doors?
it's
How about
sad.
pit bulls?
Jim, how often do you
It's
guys go up
sad.
to
That
Silas
just,
Hansen Park?
John was the one that called me.
Hanson
Up-
Park,
up-
yeah.
Yeah, by Budweiser.
Because of the apartments there, we go through a lot.
And the vandalism at the park
the
there,
park
John was
We
the
were
one
just
that called us.
discussing, not to throw you in the middle, we were just discussing, all the vandalism that's happened up there.
The parks I've noticed have been picking up with, but it's kind of been the last 2 weeks have been quiet for vandalism. But I know I talked to Raleigh, and they've been having some trouble at that park.
Yeah, John called us, yeah.
Yeah, you were off, John was
Yeah.
on
We,
it.
we may just have to not rent it out, step up patrol around that part.
Yeah.
But I
But
know,
it'll still be the
starters,
damage.
It's
With
the
that being a
damage will
heavily
still be there.
populated area,
Yeah.
we cruise through there quite often. 24/7.
Yeah.
It's tough, and I have to say, Shoals Park has been pretty darn good.
What's all-
Yeah,
Sorry.
and you know, those are, you go by those a lot, Shoals Park,
That's,
Deer
that's a
Park.
dead end.
Yep, and I'm up at the, you know, the pavilion
I
too.
mean, I don't know what kind of hours you had, but I spent 2.5 hours Friday morning
Oh, yeah,
of my time.
Yep.
Put everything else on the side to get it
Yep,
fixed
to
up.
do that.
They
And we
could use
power,
it.
I was gonna say, we took the pool power
Not to
washer up
mention
there,
an hour
washed
and
the
a half
floors with a
tonight,
power
that one
washer,
night
got
it's
it nice
donated.
and clean.
It's that
So
bad?
I would say,
You
oh
gotta
yeah,
use
it
a
was that
power
bad, we had to
wash?
use a power washer. You guys, and there's a
No, no,
beautiful
no.
bubbler up there,
Oh,
yeah.
Jim, go ahead.
Okay, this is our new part-timer,
Oh,
Adrian
okay.
Marcelinos.
Hi there.
Yeah.
He's in the city council.
Welcome to the line.
You're not local, are you?
No, not very.
Where are you from?
Melrose.
Oh, well, that's
Well,
nice.
that's
too far away.
That's
That is-
nice.
that is local, I consider that local.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you all too.
Have
Keep an
fun.
eye on my
His first
granddaughters.
What's your last name, Ontario?
Marcelonis.
Oh, you know Frank Ontario, you're from Melrose.
Yep, I went to school with Vinny and
Ah,
Yeah.
cool, okay, all right,
Be safe out there.
yeah.
Actually, that's his cousin.
Okay.
Vinny, my cousin Vinny. But I don't know where, I don't know, but yeah, you asked if it was that bad that we need a power washer?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's ridiculous.
The tables, there, I guess somebody told me one time, they were playing, well, we got up there and there was soccer balls, you know, against the window when it was on. You could see balls hit against that window, and then somebody said they were playing soccer inside there. I mean, it was mud. There's a beautiful bubbler with one of those nice, you know, you can fill up your water bottle, I mean, just dirty. The picnic tables are dirty, the beautiful picnic tables are
Shut her down.
filthy. I mean, you guys, I don't know what to do, and it's a long way out of my, you know, territory up there.
If you shut it down, that hurts everybody.
I know.
And the certain people that are doing that should hopefully realize from the other people who kind of climb onto them and say, hey, don't do that, because the rest of us use it too.
Yeah.
That's the problem, the people renting it are probably not the issue.
Right.
Right, yeah.
Except the one that can clean up after.
So
But
I mean, but you're gonna get that.
you're gonna have that, yep. Yep.
you have that.
Yeah, and apparently I talked to the wrong people because the address here didn't match the people that actually rented it, and it was scary, you know, I wouldn't want a kid going up there and doing that, I mean, like I said, I'm pretty adamant
Do
about
we need to
this.
put a sign up there that if they keep vandalizing this, it will be gone?
Yeah, but, so the kids can
Tear it
speak
down.
English, but
The
the
kids can
parents
speak
can't.
English, but the parents
See,
cannot.
that's another problem.
It's a huge thing. And like I said, to them it doesn't matter, you guys, as I'm going to this fifth door down to the east, I'm walking over it, Modella cans, broken glass, and two men sitting there. I'm like,
In the park?
clean it up,
In the
clean it up.
hallways?
Well, actually it was outside the front of the building, so I had to walk down and go.
They're just looking at you.
Yeah, and like I said,
Contact,
I probably
for
put
sure.
myself in danger, maybe, I don't know, I feel like it handled, but it's a bad situation.
How many,
Bad-
how many do you have rented at this time?
Well, I think what we should do, I
This is
think,
last weekend's, this
How many,
is
how many rentals do you have state
for Violet,
scheduled for up there,
for Violet
as of
Sanderson.
right now?
For Violet Sanson?
She'd have to go get that, I know we have
Not
one
a
next
lot,
week for
I don't
sure.
know.
No, is
Well,
it, is
yeah.
it possible that,
That's a good idea.
if it is, that if it's only like one or two, could we cancel them? Or do we have to,
It's,
That is smart, wouldn't it?
Dude.
because you ask them why, and then maybe they'll get on their horse.
well, they can't get into the bathrooms and
if we draft a
and the
letter
doors. They wouldn't be able to get, they could use
my
the
thought
picnic
is-
tables.
Is there
No,
any way
it's
to
all
board it
about
up?
more time.
I think, like, the doors
I mean, rent
and, have
and
you
then-
been up there?
but no, it's going
Not
to
lately,
rent
that's
it.
why I wanted to.
You could board up the front door and the two
Shouldn't have
bathrooms
random.
and that
So
window.
if you put it, so many
Landlords
people
are
that
Hey.
people that
Yeah, I
It's
think
step
all
up
of
control.
are
They
willing to rent
Let's
it.
board
can't be
it
up
up.
there 24 hours a day.
Huh?
We send
Yeah.
it, I think we send it,
Should've put
we-
simple
I think we
shelter
send
up
it
there,
to
someone
everyone
said
there.
that.
Let's say,
Yep, a simple
Let's board it
shelter.
up.
Board it up.
Like Deer
I
Park,
heard you and I
like
agree
Deer
with you.
Park.
Yeah, Raleigh said a simple shelter,
Like
like that little one at the Deer Park.
Just if it rains or sun, you still got protection.
Yep.
We have 7 rentals between now and August.
Cause there's one I noticed.
There's
on the-
pretty much every,
How many rest of month of June?
how about,
Are they all Hispanic too? Should I say that?
Can you say that?
Can I say that?
It's a simple
how about,
question.
how about anybody who rents it also receives a letter saying this is a problem we've been
Well,
having with the park? If we're looking at closing it in the next week or two, you're canceling it,
your decision should be based off of whether closing it for vandalism or not. And if the decision is to close it due to vandalism, we send a notice out to not only the people who are renting it, but also to the people in the surrounding community, explaining why it's been closed down, and then also posting, why it's been closed down.
We'll take a
Keep your
big
eyes
picture
open.
and put it in the paper. Do the vandalism, this park's now closed.
Can
Brand new.
Property
we
owners
also
too.
post in there what it would take to reopen the park? Which would maybe help some of the residents that live in that area, keep an eye out for it.
That's what,
That
that's,
partially that enjoy that
Animal
park, say,
control.
this is what's happened,
Substation right
this
there.
is what we
Yeah,
need
the
to
sub-
see.
10-foot razor
change.
wire and have Tim run a line over there.
I don't disagree with
I
it.
have to
I agree.
ask the council, have you
480.
have you driven up there lately?
No.
Yes.
Not lately.
Just go drive up there sometime.
I know
Look
we put-
between the buildings.
Just go,
and-
go drive up there
cars.
sometime, the
Use
cars,
this as a letter.
the trash, just look in one of their, I hate to say, look in one of the garages, you know, whoever it is, but whoever it is, just look in the garages.
We should keep on topic of the park.
Yeah,
So if, I mean,
it's a whole,
if it's a different issue.
Let's
it's not
board
on
it
the
up.
agenda, we should.
Send everybody a notice saying that, so further notice it's closed.
and cancel what you've
Due
got.
to vandalism.
can
But
I
I-
just throw this out there? What happens if you know, a year in advance, you're scheduling, you know, or you scheduled your child's graduation party and it's there and we're closing it due to vandalism? You know, I mean,
It's done.
well, Angela,
It
look at the
hurts.
dates on
It
the,
hurts.
look on the dates of when they signed their contract.
It hurts.
See what they put, how long in advance, most of them, this one was signed 6/6 for 6/17, for example.
Maybe don't take any more bookings.
We gotta shut it down.
This one
That
was
gonna-
5/1,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
for.
don't- You don't need that. You've got
Well-
other things to do.
But I do feel that, you know, shutting it down now for this coming weekend isn't really fair to
we
someone.
don't have a rental this weekend.
Yeah, I think you do, I thought there was one, Angela.
Well, what's the date today?
Today's the
19th. Nope.
19th.
Not for the 20,
24th, isn't it?
That got changed to July 1st.
okay.
The problem is,
Can I make a
shutting it down to reservations
Doesn't,
is not gonna stop the vandalism. I'm
Right.
here to
Well,
tell you
that's
that
true,
already.
yeah.
the biggest
This is
act of
true.
vandalism didn't happen by someone that rented
Yeah.
it.
Cause we know who those people are, you know?
Right.
Well,
Kind
then
of.
we need to do some motion cameras or we gotta have something.
If we shut it down, a question here, if we shut it down, are they gonna go to some of the other part of the parks and vandalize there? I mean, I shouldn't
Yeah, probably.
think that way, but, you know.
But
that could
Todd, I
happen.
think the question is, going from what Raleigh said, the people are gonna vandalize no matter what. They're opportunistic people, and that's just what they do. You know, they
For
find
the thrill.
something that's,
Yeah, yeah.
that's not lit, or there's not lights or whatever. I mean, we've had vandalism in Memorial Park, we've had it, you know, in every park we've
Visitor
had.
And it's been happening for years, this is
Right.
something that's
Yeah,
new.
yeah, yeah.
And by closing the park, what do we mean, closing the park? I mean,
The facility, the shelter.
right.
You're still getting around back to what Raleigh just said, that's not gonna stop people from going up here and kicking in the doors.
I mean, have you had vandalism at the, or people that don't clean up at the sportsman's club?
Yes,
Yeah,
picnic tables shot up,
really?
yes,
Really?
yes.
Good grief.
We shut
So it's
our
everywhere.
the club shut the rentals down. Because it was more headaches than what it was worth. We were spending more fixing stuff than we were taking in on security deposits.
Down there at the sports
Yes,
club?
yes, sir.
Yeah, and Raleigh's 100% true, the people
I
that rent it
agree
aren't the
with
problem.
Marlis. This is what I would do. I would go to the owners, Matt Hughes, Tom Coleman, Crocco. Tell them you will draft a letter and give it to all your people. And walk it door to door, whatever you gotta do to give it to them. And tell them it is going to stop. And you people, we built this $200,000 park, cause that's what I figured we got in it.
Yeah.
And you people are gonna watch over there and see what's going on and make sure your kids aren't wrecking stuff. And the next step is shut her down. Then the signs go up that say, do not step across the sidewalk. If the police come up here and you're across this, you are trespassing on city property and you will be ticketed.
Well, because it really, you know, it was a TIF project, and that's why we decided to put the shelter, and we did. Because it was TIF funded, so it's really funded by, you know,
But taxpayers.
by them taxpayers.
What about, I like Raleigh's idea, but just, do we limit it to this notice, just to the people up there, to the owners?
You
of-
gotta send it to the both property owners and the renters. If you send it just to the property owners,
How about
I mean,
putting it in
there's
the
no-
newspaper, you know, or putting it so that
how do
everybody
you,
knows?
how do you make a landlord
What if they don't
send a
pay?
letter to the resident?
Or post a,
But
Or
Post
Tell you what,
notice.
though,
So
I've
door
had
to
'em
door,
do it
sign
for
off
garbage
so that
and
you know
stuff.
everybody got
the
it.
landlord
And
should
they
be aware.
do a
Still
pretty
put a
decent job of
notice
it.
on the
You
building.
Get the letter or get the.
Well,
they
you
do in
can- you
Rochester,
got- there's an
they
ordinance
hang
in
a
which you
letter
can
on your
enforce
door
on the landlord for
association.
housing maintenance. You can't do that. It doesn't work the same way for parks. I mean, a park is a public space, you can.
Right, but it's a public space owned by who?
public.
Which
It's owned by the
includes-
city, which
which
includes the
Right.
residents.
You know, but.
Nobody's paying taxes on that piece of property, that means it's owned by, right here. I mean, it's pathetic, it is.
It's sad.
Eva's right, it's pathetic.
Sad.
It's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Try
I would've
so
got
hard.
caught doing something like that, I'd have
Oh.
asked the cops to take me somewhere other than Main
home.
Street.
Yeah, there's at
because
home.
Anywhere, I don't care.
Yep.
Yeah, you didn't want Pa to find out.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't be sitting down.
something
So-
has to be
Wooden
done.
spoons aren't just fake.
I went
made
up
for
there to
mixing, I'll
fix
tell you
something,
that.
I set a drill down, and the minute I set it down, little guy picks it up
Oh.
and starts squeezing the trigger, and I'm like, drill bit, 3 years old? I don't think so, no. I
Right.
told him no, I set it down and he picked it up right away, and his mother was standing right there. And I
Well,
looked at her and I
Trying to
said,
fix-
come on.
well, should,
And
number
then
one,
put
I
the-
mean, should we look at sending a letter to tenants and landlords?
Yeah, we gotta get the notices out there and then make a decision on whether or not the rentals are gonna be kept. Yeah, step up the patrols and then security cameras. I mean, that's how you resolve the issue and say that the park's not gonna be open for rental until the issues are resolved.
And, you know, if we do increase the fee, which I'm in favor of, that's still, I mean, they're still gonna get their money back if it comes back clean. I get that. But word starts to get around that this is how much it's costing us up front.
The pavilion is $750 and it's going to $1,000 next year.
Ooh.
If you wanna rent the pavilion in 2018, it's gonna cost you $1,000.
The Lions Pavilion.
Yep.
And Joyce Wannick is what, 350 is it?
350.
Yeah,
Yeah, 325.
Yeah.
We ain't problems there.
you know,
Just once,
yeah. That's
spray paint.
right. Oh, yeah.
The girl's father came and scrubbed it off. He wasn't very happy about it either.
Violet or Shank Park's not utilized nearly as much
Yeah.
because it's so expensive.
Because of the cost.
Well,
Yeah, $50, yeah,
That says a lot.
yeah.
and
But
there's,
by
and there's
again,
no,
that's not right in the heart of a residential area with, I mean, it's residential, but not nearly as, you know,
Well,
with the,
I know that, but I'll tell you what, that's an easy park to get in and out, nobody can see it either.
Mm-hmm. And yet that stays pretty,
I mean, I'd be more, you know what,
Mhm.
I'm saying I'm that person, but, I mean, you're,
Right.
you're less apt when there's people that live right across the
Back
street.
in the day.
Yeah, but if I go,
Right, I know what you mean.
if I go to Joyce Wannick Park and vandalize something, there's a pretty good chance I might get fired. Or if I go up to Violet Hanson. Oh, well. Don't tell me that don't go through their mind, cause it
Yeah.
does.
I mean, I think we can send the letters,
Because if
like
Ron
Bill
finds
stated,
out
we can,
about it.
we can do that, we can, I think,
Post a note.
can we make a motion to increase the fee?
Yeah, I mean,
I think we ought to look at, see what it costs to put cameras up there.
well, and I think if we do it at that one, I think $50 is pretty cheap for, I think if we raise it at all of them, don't you think? Or just that one, you thinking?
Well,
For
you
now.
know,
Well,
let's
you know
have
what?
to do it all.
Yeah, but the thing that I like about leaving the other ones the same is we haven't had the issues.
Right.
That's true.
And the reason this is being raised is because of vandalism issue.
Yep.
We're fine with having the fee at $50, I mean, I think
Yeah.
it should be raised, yes. But you know
Right.
what, maybe now's not the time to
Maybe
discuss
not
that.
those, yep. But maybe
This
just
is the
deal with
problem,
this one.
this is our problem
Yeah.
child, we need to raise it because of this
Yep.
vandalism issue.
Yep.
The other parks are treated fine,
Yep.
the fees can stay the same.
That was
And you know, that's a new park up there too, so maybe, like you said, these have been established, people clean them, they take care of them. That one,
Right.
they're not quite in sync with that yet, so maybe a letter, a raise of fee, let them know. And like I said, yeah,
But can we make a motion? It just says a discussion on
We'll draft something up and bring it back for the next, which is rather quickly anyway.
And then I think Nikki Myers, you did mention her, so she's another one, so
We can
there'll
get
be
this
four
done.
of them, or whoever up there.
Nikki,
to the property owners?
Yes.
here.
Yeah,
Matt, her.
We'll just, I mean,
Crackle.
we're just gonna send it, we're gonna look on the county website, see who owns the property instead of naming names here. But then we'll go ahead and send it out to them and all the properties there.
tenants.
to the tenants also.
I still say we gotta put something on the building,
Yeah, we will,
on notice,
yeah. We'll put the notice on the building.
in a couple of languages.
do you want us to take any more reservations or no?
I would
Not
say
this
no.
year.
No, shut it down.
Not until it's,
Yeah.
Do the ones that they, is there any
Honor
more?
those, I think.
I think we should honor the ones.
Honor
that
the
are there.
ones, yeah, I think and I,
Since we realize those aren't the people that are causing the problem.
right,
We're getting some of that.
except the one that didn't come and
Right.
clean up after, but, yeah. And then they did come and clean up, kinda, sorta, but, you know, we did the best.
But-
Yeah, they took my dustpan too, of all things, and I had to go get that from them, they had it in
But
their
clean
van.
for some people's, we
Yeah,
discussed
right,
this, it's not
that's
clean
true,
for other
that's
people.
true.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And that can be.
so maybe honor the ones this year, but take no more
No more
reservations at Violet Hanson.
Due to,
And when they
Yeah,
ask
no,
you
right.
why they can't rent it, tell them because of vandalism.
And then we talked about raising it for next year, then when they do rent it,
I think so.
And a security deposit.
and a security deposit, that they get back if it's
We
clean.
used to rent Patriots Park and we paid more money than we cleaned up the mess since
yep,
It puts a little sense of responsibility on the person, yeah.
right.
So we'll go forward with the rentals we have. And like I said, Thursday, Friday, I check it and clean it. Now, I went today and did it, I'll probably go Wednesday again, check it. I don't know, you don't have to go up there during the day at all, do you? No, so I kinda make a special point to go up there just to look at it, see if there's any twine hung in there again. I have no idea, that one just shocked me, because they were locked. I don't know how that happened. They weren't broken, the bathrooms were broken.
Oh, they
just-
weren't broke,
the
but there was
twine.
someone in there. I don't
Yeah,
know.
oh, they were in there, but I don't know if they
Must
took
be
a credit
magician
card.
up there living.
Maybe credit card and got that thing open that way, I don't know, I was just baffled when I saw that, but
Did you put a metal plate across the door, is that what
that's
you're
what,
talking about?
you did that at the park for me, and boy,
Yeah.
that was wonderful,
They can kick till hell won't have it, no.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
better.
how about a metal plate on those bathroom doors, you know how you have How did you do that at the park for me? That works out great. They can't get in there to the,
What?
to the lot.
I'll look at it.
Why don't you
Yeah,
guys
we can
discuss
work
that
on that,
and we'll
yeah.
move on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I wanna tell you guys, just please come and look at the pool sometime. We've gotten a lot of compliments on the beautiful floor. Grab a free ice cream cone if you're up there. But the floor looks fantastic. The ice cream is unbelievable.
Joe gets a smile on his face.
Just tell me
What are
you're
you trying to say?
The gym floor looks
He's a
really,
prom going tomorrow.
the gym floor looks really good too. We get a lot of compliments there, but the floor is unbelievable at the pool, how good it looks, and
Well, and all the painting.
things have been,
and
things have been
whatever that-
going really well there,
Hopefully it'll
so.
stay that way.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you. We move on to number 9A, approved bills in the bills of general account, the amount of $193,549.
So moved, not to exceed.
Second.
By Feltus,
It was kind of a,
by Fetch.
This Washington
Trust,
Court
trust there.
lighting here, $3,400, does that come out of,
The Washington Court account,
yeah, but it appears in our general fund for some, why does it appear in the general?
because that's where it's paid out of. You can
And the
probably-
Bobcat is split 3 ways to $500?
Yes.
Okay.
It,
Okay.
basically, the bill comes to the city, and it's paid out of the city account, and then the Washington Court
Oh,
reimburses the general
Alright.
fund. Correct?
Okay, Stray dog intake fee.
And the 16,000 for Davy, I hope that's the last bill from him.
You'll never see. Well, it should be.
We'll double check on that.
For what? You know, that's the problem, we don't know what this stuff is. It says Myers Valley
That's
here,
Myers
so,
Valley, and it's,
when is McKinley?
I wanna say when I'm reading that invoice, it was in regards to some of the erosion issues that we had out there that
Thanks, Eva.
You're welcome.
we would do some adjustments on. But I know that
Davy Engineering.
there's a walkthrough of DNR that's coming up here and then closing down the project, so, one thing that we need to recognize also with a creek relocation project is that, moving forward, there may be other issues that we have to deal with, so it's not, just saying that,
Do we ever get Dick Shank's trees planted?
we didn't plan those, there was no tree planted.
That's up above there, or
Mm-hmm.
where's
Yeah,
that?
and I spoke with him, and he said that hill is high enough so that he can't see, Ashley, so he's content with the hill being the way it is currently.
Okay, well, just,
We've been in contact.
Yeah, blowing whistles.
Any other questions? Clerk will call the roll.
Mezek.
Yes.
Wojni.
Yes.
Holsted.
Yes.
Flusher.
yes.
Fetch.
Yeah.
Feltes.
yeah.
Motion carries. Item 10A, discussion and possible action on operator licenses.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Feltus, second by Slusher. Questions?
Bill Grukuski, is that he's a floater, he works in more than one place, he's blank?
Yeah, you don't have to list,
You don't
yeah.
have to.
So some people don't, some people might not work at all, but just wanna keep their license up.
Okay.
In case they are a floater, so that's a
I
good-
can
good
understand
way
that,
to put
thank
it.
you. I can understand,
Any other questions?
I love them, isn't there?
Clerk will call the roll.
Wojni.
Yes.
Holsted.
Yes.
Slusher.
Yes.
Fetch.
Yeah,
Feltes.
Yep.
Mezek.
Yes.
Motion
they have
carries.
the best hamburgers at Bill's.
10B, picnic permit for Ashley for the Arts.
Second.
Motion by Mezek,
Boy.
second by
That was an
Slusher.
easy, that was an easy one.
Can we make that contingent on receiving a certificate of liability insurance?
Sure, I'm fine with it.
So we did
Fireworks.
last year as well.
That's special permit?
I think they get a special permit, don't they? A firework permit?
Fireworks actually are set off in the town.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, the other side of the
Up
road.
in the town, oh, the other side of the road.
Yep.
I can see the wheels turning over there, Joe. He was thinking about setting fireworks off in the town, like going into Arcadia and what that does. I could see what was going on up there.
He's a fireman.
Yes? Any other questions? Clerk will call the roll.
Be nice.
Holsted.
I was
Yes.
doing that while you were
Flusher.
Yes.
singing.
Fetch.
Yes.
Feltes.
Yep.
Mezek.
Yes.
Wojni.
Yes.
Motion carries. Future agenda items, Mr. Slusher.
I have none.
Mr. Fetch.
Same as before.
All right.
I wanna know what it's gonna cost us for sheet piling.
I'm working on that. I can't get the guy here.
I know, but
From
I
Jeff
don't wanna
Brennan.
drop it because I wanna make sure we can get it in next year's budget.
For the what now? You're talking?
Something we discussed at the last meeting about drilling pilings in
Yeah,
on the flood
control.
control wall.
Oh.
Nothing.
I have one agenda item and one I would just like information on. In public comment last month, I brought up if we could use some of the part-time wages for the LED lights, $3,600, so that, so I don't get ready to go over to close at the utility commission meetings again.
Okay.
Is it possible that, that'll ease the burden there? And then the second thing that I would like is either a dissertation or Reader's Digest versions on due diligence. I would like something printed out so that I can read what we can ask and what we can't ask when we look at something. Due diligence.
Okay.
That's all I got.
When we're looking at a summary of what we can ask and.
Ms. Colston?
Well, I'm just wondering if we just need an update or whatever on our problem.
I'm sure we'll get one.
Okay,
The park.
well,
Just run on the
parks,
valley
I mean,
Okay.
the vandalism or whatever
Okay.
that we would be
When-
kept
It's a
up.
You just
Different
want
conversation.
just maybe come in and give us
We should
a
go up there,
rundown of everything.
there.
Well,
Fine.
I mean, if there's
Idea
something
to
to say,
go
I mean, I don't.
But I mean,
hopefully-
let's meet like at
There
5
won't
o'clock
be,
or
but
4:45.
Usually she does one at the
And then she
meeting.
can go through and show us all the stuff that
There's
I've never been
If
in.
there's-
In the middle of July and
I
say
drove,
this.
I drove around it.
If I see her, I'll see if we can do that, and then
well,
I'll.
if there's something-
Things to do for
Motion.
prevention and all
Makes me so
that.
sad.
Upcoming meetings.
Oh,
All right.
Upcoming meetings.
Upcoming meetings, we have scheduled, well, the third, July 3rd, we,
Oh.
excuse me, well,
No.
July 6th, we're moving to.
yeah, July 3rd is no longer a meeting, that's a Monday, we're gonna move it to the 6th,
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, we have,
just because we've got outstanding projects and if there's bills to be paid and such. If nothing comes up, we may cancel it, but probably
We
not.
can't cancel it now, we got a couple of things that came up.
Oh, so,
How about a relationship with the school, with that meeting, those committees, that committee?
We need to meet after I get back from having a baby.
Bill's wife's gonna be having a baby here really quick.
You don't look that far along, Bill.
he's gonna have less hair than he's got now.
In real short order here.
But do
Week to
think,
10
do think
days.
about who you want on the steering committee, do think about who you want on the committee.
I got a name already for
So start writing those names down and
Name.
then we'll.
the steering committee.
To help out on the committee.
Or
Yep.
Rick Center, or
Yeah, whatever.
Are you gonna deliver it?
are we gonna
I'll try.
schedule it, oh, the
Oh, you
17th
might
is
pass
next
out.
one,
The
right?
17th would be,
I'll make a motion to.
the regular,
Right,
yeah.
okay,
we just moved this one.
right,
To Thursday.
okay.
All in
so-
favor, say aye.
the 3rd to the
Aye.
6th.
Aye,
Who made the motion?
I did.
I second it.
Joe can take over, not you.
Okay.
Any discussion?
Motion by Fetch, second by Mazak to adjourn.
I know the mayor didn't call it, so.
Clerk will call the roll.
Slusher,
Yes.
Fetch,
Yes.
Feltes,
Yeah.
Mason,
Yes.
Wojni.
Yes.
Holstead.
Yes.
Motion carries. Yes,